Have you ever been somewhere where you really shouldn't be? Or you're somewhere that you can't escape from? Now, it may not be a literal place, it may be your circumstances, and you feel trapped by them. Here today in Psalm 56, David is in Gath, of all places. It's the headquarters of the enemies, the Philistines, of God's people. It's the very place where Goliath, the giant, is from that David killed. If word gets around, David, the Goliath killer's there, he really is done for. And yet David takes us on a very short but a remarkable journey, describing the darkness, describing the terror, describing the fear, the imminent threat to his life. And yet it brings him to a place, even in this darkness, of understanding. Hey, hang on. I am one of God's people. And so this wonderful truth dawns on him. It's here in verse 9. And it's true for every single one of us if we know and love God. This is the truth. God is for me. Isn't that wonderful? Maybe just say that even now. God is for me. God is for you. God is for us. As David's realizing this truth, he comes to an even greater conclusion there in verse 11. Hang on, if God is for me, what can anyone do to me? I don't need to fear anyone. My trust in God will get me through this situation. This psalm, I believe, takes us wonderfully to a passage in the New Testament, Romans chapter 8, where we read there of God's remarkable love. We read about being more than conquerors because of what Christ has done for us. The question is there posed in verse 31, where it says, look, if God is for us as his people, who can be against us? And of course the answer is no one. The answer's proved because God's given everything for us. He's even given his own dear son to die for us. And we're told that there is nothing that will separate us from his love. We're told that even death, you imagine that, even death cannot separate us from his love. So what a wonderful promise to believe. Even in dark times, even in dark places, even in dark circumstances that we find ourselves perhaps weighed down by, that if we're God's people, he's with us wherever we are, and he's for us. And so no one can do anything to harm us, maybe physically, but nothing spiritually. We can land in the place where David finishes in verses 12 and 13 by even praising God. Even there. Oh, may the Lord help us.